Hello everyone and welcome to the first episode of Wine Library TV. I am Gary Vaynerchuk, Director of Operations here at Wine Library at winelibrary.com, and I am very proud to launch what we think is the first video wine blog.
He's always entertaining and informative, and we're so glad to have him here. Please help me welcome Gary Vaynerchuk.
Have you ever wondered, when you start to buy into someone, what is that quality that you're really buying into? On the surface, it may seem like it is just one characteristic trait, like a charm or the wit of a person, a quality that makes them similar to you, or perhaps a quality that you would like to possess. But think about all the people that you have grown to admire more and more. And when I say admire, I mean you really buy into them. You have this unspoken bond with them, whether that's your favorite musician, actor, brand, your favorite TV show character. What is it that's common with them all? What do you think it is? Well, let's cut to the chase and let me keep this simple and straight. It is a story. Yes, the thing that all human beings crave the most. A good story. The thing that makes us root for Nike, the thing that made us root for Steve Jobs, the thing that makes us root for Eminem, and probably the thing that is making us root for Gary Vaynerchuk. The common bond? They're all great storytellers. If you only start to watch a few keynotes or speeches that Gary has done, you almost quickly feel like you know a lot about him. He never misses to tell you that he moved from Russia to the United States when he was only 3 years old.
I was born in the former Soviet Union. I came to the US when I was 3. We moved to a studio apartment in Queens. I lived with 8 family members in a studio apartment, slightly bigger than the stage that I'm on now.
And how he was traded for wheat with America.
There was a singular little moment where Russia had a food problem because they've made a lot of bad decisions, and they traded Russian-born Jews to America and Israel that made a pact where America traded wheat for Jews. I was traded for wheat.
How his dad worked his way up from a stock boy at a liquor store to then owning his own wine shop.
My dad got a job as a stock boy in New Jersey and was commuting from Queens to Jersey, and eventually worked really hard and became the assistant manager, then manager of that store, and eventually we moved to Edison, New Jersey. My dad's store was called Shoppers Discount Liquors.
How as a kid he sucked at school and got D's and F's, and how he hated that period of his life.
Like, I was a very happy kid, but I hated school. Like, on a different planet. I was getting D's and F's, and the world was telling me I was a loser. My teachers were telling me a loser. My friends' parents weren't saying to my face that I was a loser, but I could see it in their eye that I didn't think I'd be successful, because the game I played, unlike today's game, in the 80s, early 90s, was school was the way out.
How his mother instilled confidence and empathy in him.
When I was 9 years old and opened the door for an elderly woman at a McDonald's, she reacted as if I won the Nobel Peace Prize.
Good mom.
What my mom did was super smart. She overreacted on everything that I was doing. That was a good human trait. And she held me accountable for things that didn't matter, like grades. My mom built huge self-esteem in me. And I feel like the biggest reason I am who I am today to everybody is because I feel so guilty and so grateful for what she did for me that I want to do it for everybody else.
How he became self-aware at a fairly young age. How he was born to become an entrepreneur.
If you know who you are, then by nature you'll probably bet on your strengths. If you bet on your strengths, you'll win. In 4th grade, when I got an F in Mr. Molinar's science class, I knew right then and there that I was a student and I didn't give a crap about Saturn. What I remember more than anything was at that moment, because I'd already done lemonade and I already sold random stuff around the house door to door, I was like, I'm a businessman. That's what I called it back then. And that's it. And I'm never gonna hedge.
In their book, 25 Ways to Win People, when author Les Parrott asked John C. Maxwell why he would tell so many stories in his interaction with people, John replied by saying, stories stick and principles fade. If you want people to remember what you said, tell a story. All of Gary's stories move us closer to understanding what kind of an individual he is. And whether strategically or not, Gary seems to play onto this fact pretty well because he understands how important a story is for a personal brand. So he keeps unveiling all the values that make him the man he is, whether that is empathy.
It comes down to empathy.
Self-awareness.
Self-awareness is the ultimate in our society right now.
Patience.
You're just not patient. Like if you're feeling any angst, it's because you don't love the process more than the results.
Positivity.
I think positivity needs a momentum booster.
Or hustle.
Your country is not the variable of your hustle, my friend.
And we subconsciously associate all those values with him. They say, if the storyteller is skilled, he simply invades us and takes over. There's little we can do to resist aside from abruptly clapping the book shut, but even then the image formed from the words that we have read seem to linger our imaginations. Yes, and this holds true for Gary Vaynerchuk. The way he communicates his stories are usually so powerful that the images linger in your mind long after you have heard him speak. So it is with any story. A writer lays down words, but they are inert. They need a catalyst to come to life. The catalyst is the reader's imagination. And in this case, the catalyst is you, the viewer. But oftentimes, after someone has become a success or has made it, that becomes their end of story. Or in other words, their story stops to engage us as much. We see this with many artists and personalities that make it and gradually fade away. But somehow we're still rooting for Gary Vee, even though many would say that he has made it. And statistically, he has become one of the most influential entrepreneurs of our generation. Many even coin him a social media rock star, which is one of a kind. But he still seems to be perceived as an underdog by the audience. Why is that? Well, to make it more clear, let's take a boxing analogy. Boxing promoters have long understood that fights don't attract fan interest and dollars unless they feature compelling personalities and backstories. However, a pre-fight hype shapes a story about why the men are fighting and usually how they came to despise each other. Without a strong backstory, a fight tends toward dullness. No matter how furious the action, it's like watching the climax to a great film without first watching the build-up that gives the climax its tension. So in the case of Gary, what you've heard up until now is his backstory, and the main fight that he's fighting is to buy the New York Jets. Yes, the American football team. The most integral part of the story. This is something Gary never misses to mention, but it's not just about buying the Jets that makes his story captivating. It is the story behind why he wants to buy the New York Jets that makes us, the audience, connect with him. It is the fact that he is inviting us to the journey of fulfilling his childhood dreams that keeps us at the edge of our seats. And this is why I believe even his daily vlogs or the DailyVee Show has managed to stay so effective, because every so often we are reminded of that ultimate goal.
Yes. For everyone, I just read a bunch of things that you do. Can you just tell us exactly what it is you do?
In the context of this program, I'm the future owner of the New York Jets.
Wow!
I was born in Russia, came here as a little kid, and the first way I became Americanized was by watching the '82 Jets season. That's when the other kids accepted me in Edison, New Jersey. Now I've decided I've got to buy it so I can dictate the outcome that me and the Jet fans deserve.
I like that.
Wow,
That's
you and the
That's
Jet
an American
fans.
story.
Most of us on this earth are looking for people that know exactly where they're going, just because we get to tag along. As they say, if you're not a leader, you're a follower. And even otherwise, we love an underdog story, a person trying to become a champion. Come on, that is why we love the Rocky movies. We just can't help it. I say this to say that we often tend to not realize why we are rooting for this person that we are rooting for, although we subconsciously do recognize it. So, whether through pure intention or not, we have been spellbound into the story by the masterful storyteller who we call Gary Vaynerchuk. Yes, so it is not just what you see that is alluring you towards him, but in fact, it's what you don't see is where the magic is created. Thank you so much for watching, guys. My name is Prose. I like to call myself a storyteller. I've created this channel so that I can share my ideas, perspectives, and create in the form of a video, a film, or even a song at times. I'd highly appreciate if you guys like, comment, and share this video, and do subscribe to this channel for more videos, and please comment down below what you'd like to see next, okay? Alright, okay. And welcome to the Freedom Universe, by the way. Alright, peace.